100 fly and the 200 fly. Both belong.
Welcome back to Dallas, Texas.
Senior for the Rice Owls. As Rice continues to stay out on top of the team standings as well. They got a 157.63 to outtouch Dolores Martindy by about 2 seconds. Kaylee Turner coming in third at a time of around 2 minutes flat. Hayon, her top regular season time was 158.03, so she lowers her B-cut effort by about 0.4 of a second. Here are the team standings. And after FIU had cut it down to 37 points, Rice is now in front by 70.5. Rice at 1387.5, then FIU. Tulane at 1143.5. It's going to come down to Rice and FIU with only 2 events left. The platform diving and then the 400 free relay. Points count for double in those relay events. And that will close it down here in Dallas. But isn't it fitting? We've got Nicole Frank winning for FIU in the previous event. And then we've got Ariel Hayon doing her thing in this event. You know, when these teams need to pick up big wins, their best swimmers are stepping up to the plate and helping their team out.
This has been an exciting battle and an exciting display of swimming and athleticism and competitiveness in general tonight.
Cole Frank gets it done in the 200 breaststroke, and then the 200 fly goes to Ariel Hayon. Her second individual gold. Even those not involved in championship affairs, watching very closely those team scores at this point to see who's going to come out on top as Rice and FIU battle for the championship, just like they have so many times over the years, whether it be here in the American or in Conference USA. Let's hear the podium presentation from our public address announcer.
Sammy Johnson. 5th place for Frida Loverslide. 4th place for Bavara Diazeppa. And now your top 3. It's a 3rd place finish for North Texas's Kaylee Turner. Second place for Florida Atlantic's Dolores Martindy. And your 2025 champion with an NCAA B-cut time, 1:57.63. The senior from Rice, Ariel Hayon.
By the way, that 200 butterfly time for North Texas's Kaylee Turner is her best time ever and second best in team history as well. So congratulations to Kaylee for that. She owns most of the best 200 butterfly times in North Texas history.
That's awesome. Conference podiums are really, really hard to come by, and so are best times. Best times are big time celebrated in college.
And Turner, where her time is up at the University of North Texas, going to have a lot of those places. Even if North Texas doesn't end up on the top of the podium this time around, she is etching her name, just like Ariel Hayon is for the Rice Owls. $70 points. All that separates Rice and FIU as we head into the final 2 events. Platform diving is on the way, and then we will close it down with the 400 free relay here in Dallas as well.
We're down to 2 more events to go. 2 more. We got the diving coming your way now. And then lastly will be the 400 relay.
Makes her way on to talk to our Natalie Calabat. Going to start platform diving as well. Natalie is standing by with the winner from Rice.
You were able to sweep all the fly events. How do you approach the 100 versus the 200?
It's a totally different race. I mean, I'm someone who loves a back half in both, to be honest, but in the 100, I don't really have to hold myself back so much, and I can just kind of let my natural speed take over. But in the 200, I really have to be very strategic and understand that I can't just go out with all out. And I really try to control my speed a lot more and find my rhythm in the 200. It's a totally different race.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And with that win by Hayon, Rice out in front by 70.5 points as we turn our attention to platform diving here in Dallas.
And this is the platform diving. We are got one more event coming your way, and that will be the 400-yard relay.
And in addition to that, the team diving event, she was a big part of that for North Texas. Platform, not her specialty. She'll be doing a lower degree of difficulty
this is how
than some of the other competitors in this final, but a 44.85 on her first dive. And it brings up another North Texas Mean Green diver, Amelia Sharp. She goes up to the 7.5 meters. She is the school record holder for North Texas in the platform. It's a 2.4 DD, forward 2.5 somersault pike. Sharp qualifying in 6th place. 49.20 for Amelia Sharp. Second best dive we've seen early on. Now, one of the key differences between platform diving and the springboard diving events is springboard. There are 6 dives, but only 5 dives in platform, as Natalie Calabat rejoins me now. And obviously, in addition to that, one of the big differences is you're not swinging,
after this one, then we got one more event left coming your way. And again, that will be, oh wow. So, and then after this, we might well play a game for just a bit, and then we're going to watch a movie. And this one we're going to watch is, let's say, I think we'll say will be is
Riska Lettinen with an outstanding dive. She even picked up an 8 on that one for a 60.75.
Well, I want to say a few things.
Fourth qualifying diver from Rice. This is Megan Phillip, and Rice's last opportunity in diving to make a splash, if you will. And 6.5s and 7s for Megan Phillip there.
And you know, John, you'll see the divers doing dives at different levels. Sydney right now is on the 5-meter platform. That's the lowest platform. Then there's the 7.5 and the 10-meter. They can pick and choose how they want to orchestrate their list.
Gadara finished second in the 1-meter, part of North Texas's team diving championship. And here on a 2.6 DD, 46.8.
Straight 6s on that dive. A lot of these divers, for instance, Sydney doing a 2.5 pike on 5-meter, you would add a flip on 10-meter and do a 107B, a forward 3.5 in the pike position. And speaking of the 10-meter, that's where we find Frida Zuniga Guzman doing a forward 3.5 in the pike position.
Now Frida will attempt 3 of her 5 dives from the 10-meter. Second in this event a season ago. She qualified second as well. The defending AAC diver of the meet a season ago.
Always calm.
And then later on today, we can watch other swimming and diving competitions. One was on the main. I know it was SEC swimming and diving. Then ACC swimming and diving.
But man, she makes a noise when she hits the water. That is that
Championships, day 4, final day.
Beautiful entry for Frida. She'll get some 8s, some 7.5s. Look at that takeoff. Tight pike, shows the control, and she lines those dives up on platform.
A 69 all told for Frida Zuniga Guzman to lead heading into Brooke Megdahl. Windsor, Ontario native from FIU had the best qualifying numbers.
No communication order.
She's going off the 7.5 meter, which is actually similar in terms of the dive list to the 3 meter springboard. So this is a dive that she would potentially compete on 3 meter as well. Goes past vertical, kicks up a little bit too high.
The washover at 36.4, and she's in last place after qualifying in first place. And again, very big point potential in platform diving for FIU. They have 3 competitors here in the finals. Rice has 1 as we go back to Christina Keenan.
I have to give Christina so much credit. Talking to her coach Josh Larkin said a few weeks ago she had vertigo, which is when you get a little bit dizzy. So she is up there on the 10 meter, competing her times after not going up there for a little while to recover from that. So absolutely incredible, and to put the dive away the way that she did, very impressive.
Cameron Wong from North Texas.
This dive, a 301B, a reverse dive on the tower, is a voluntary dive. She shows control, big jump, folds into the pike. She's got gorgeous lines. Judges on platform are looking for clean entries and the rip sound.
Amelia Sharp at a 49.2, 49.20 on her opening dive. Coming off 7.5 meters here.
You could see when she was setting up on the end of the platform, she had a little bit of instability in her core on the takeoff. Backed it up just a hair too much and ducked her head on the bottom, causing her to go past vertical.
At 29.70. As Ruska Letnin comes up, she had the second best dive of the first round.
Ruska's excellent on tower, very consistent diver, has a solid list that she can put away in her sleep, gets her arms through, finds the entry, clean bottom.
Megan Phillip, who had a 48 on her opening dive, the transfer from Minnesota, graduate student for Rice, part of their restarting of the diving, and a big part of the reason Rice feels like they can win this championship.
Megan actually hasn't competed this dive since she injured her foot.
And this one is for all ladies.
And she drills it on 3 meter.
And again, it's for all ladies.
The diving
This
board
women's
on
diving
this dive.
championship.
She gets up on 7 meter, no fear, absolutely puts that behind her and hits her inward 2.5. Incredible.
Big time. Here's Sydney Godara, 7th in this event a season ago.
Good control. Stays on her takeoff. Gets those shoulders over the toes. Unfolds out of the pipe.
Now Frida Zuniga Guzman, who absolutely nailed her first dive. This time coming off the 7.5 meter, 2.7 DD for Frida on this dive.
Great takeoff. I love her, like, no fear aura when she's on the platform. She just gets up there, takes a deep breath, and trusts her muscle memory, and that's all you gotta do.
She even scored an 8.5 on that one at 60.75 for Frida. She is by far and away going to be the leader after the second dive as Brooke Mechdel comes up from FIU.
Brooke handling the pressure well. She was first after prelims. She's a tower specialist for FIU. Shows control from start to finish of this dive. Nice toe point entering the water.
As we look at the standings after the first two dives, Frida Zuniga Guzman is up by 24 points on Ruska Lehtinen. Megan Phillip in third. There's Christina Keenan of FIU. Keenan in fourth.
I mentioned after Christina battling vertigo, doing such a good job of resetting, refocusing, doing all her dives, and competing at a high level.
Cameron Wong off the 7.5 meter. Her dives lower DD than the rest of the competition.
She does this dive standing. You'll see a lot of the women, they do an approach that gets them to the end of the platform. This could be because maybe her coach wants her to get her arms all the way through, so they're working on that, or maybe she's more comfortable doing it standing, but the judges will judge her accordingly based off of all the other divers, even if they're doing an approach.
Back to Amelia Sharp of North Texas.
Beautiful dive. This is a very hard dive to master. Has a great top, gets into that tight tuck, and you can see she knows exactly where to come out, sees her spots, and kicks right at them. Diving is such a visual sport.
Her best dive at the Platform Championship, a 54.60. Meanwhile, Ruska Lehtinen, coming off the 10 meter, starts here in the handstand.
The handstand dives, the judges really want to see that control at the top when they're vertical. Ruska does a great job displaying that. She receives 7s on this dive.
54.40 overall. Lehtinen was in second place after the first two dives. Back to Megan Phillip of Rice. Her first two dives, a 48 and a 54.
Set this outer inward. And it applies to her back as well. Since she injured her foot, she hadn't done either of those dives. So for her to get up, go, and do the dives is so impressive. She just kicks high.
So a tough score for Megan Phillip of a 22.40. Sydney Gadara trying to maintain her consistency. She's coming off the 7.5 meter as well.
Beautiful takeoff, clean entry. 7.5 on this dive. She keeps her chin up on the takeoff. Love her start. That's why she had so much control on the come out.
That's her best dive so far, a 59.40. So we go to Frida Zuniga Guzman, who was the leader after the first two dives. This is a lower DD coming off the 5 meter.
Does it beautifully, shows control from start to finish. Her coach, Ryan McIntyre, said she's been focusing on mentality. She's a perfectionist. That's something they've been working on. You can see, I mean, her entries are flawless.
8s and 8.5s on that lower DD dive for a total of 41.45. And she's elongating her lead. Here's Brooke Mechtel.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Her best dive so far.
Gorgeous top, aggressive, tight tuck, pikes out, rips the bottom. Dives like that are what get you fired up.
It moves her back into the competition as you see her move up to 5th. Zuniga Guzman still in first, followed by Lehtinen and Gadara. And now back to Christina Keenan.
Keenan with an arm stand. Josh Larkham tells me she's the Energizer Bunny. She brings the energy, makes it fun. She was injured last year, so competing in conference champs means a lot to her.
Cameron Bong from North Texas. In tie for 7th place.
Great dive. If you're going to do low degree of difficulty dives like this one, this is how you want to do it. You want to get 7s and 8s on the dive. She has such beautiful lines, and her entries are so clean.
Amelia Sharp be coming off the 5 meter as well. Sharp was in 6th place.
Great dive, straight 6s, gets a good jump off the platform, squares it out, and her toe point is fabulous.
Ruska Lehtinen with a 2.9 DD coming off the 10 meter here. A chance for Lehtinen to challenge Frida Zuniga Guzman up at the top of the standings.
Lots of cheers from the FIU team. 5.5s on this dive. Has a great takeoff. Finds exactly where to come out. FIU trains at the Hall of Fame pool in Fort Lauderdale in that gorgeous new facility. So lots of platform time for the Panthers.
Megan Phillip off the 5 meter.
Another lower degree of difficulty dive, but she does it very well. Strong jump, pikes out, finds the lineup.
45.15. As we go back to the 3rd UNT diver, Sydney Gadara. Gadara was in 3rd place through the first 3 dives.
High degree of difficulty dive. You see this dive done on 10 meter a lot. It's a testament to Sydney's strength. She has a lot of power, gymnastic-like motions from her.
49.95 for Sydney Gadara. That should keep her in line for the medal stand, as Frida Zuniga Guzman has been nearly perfect so far. This is a mid DD dive, would you say, coming off the 10 meter?
I would say so, yes. Fabulous. The divers can choose how to press up into the arm stand. Frida gets 8.5.
Even a 9.
A 9. So much control, beautiful form in the air, and just the icing on the cake are her killer entries. Just disappears.
She has put on a show on the platform as Brooke Megdal is back up. A 61.6 on her last dive.
Brooke is holding it together. It is really hard to go after a Frida, or, you know, the way Frida's been doing her dives, and Brooke is laser focused, doing a great job of a consistent diving list. She's won Freshman Diver of the Week several times. Her strongest event is platform.
Go into the final dive. Just 5 dives here in the championship. Frida Zuniga Guzman way out in front, followed by Megdal and Lehtinen.
The final dive.
And here's Keenan of FIU. She's in 5th.
Big dive, high degree of difficulty dive, back 2.5 on 5. She does it very well. Great jump. Gets 2 flips done above the platform.
Her earns a 55.50. That is her best dive of the championship. Cameron Wong for North Texas has gotten stronger. This is her toughest, highest DD coming off the 7.5 meter.
Cameron Wong is humble in her own right. In yesterday's interview, she said platform is not her strong suit, but she is fabulous on the tower event. She has done a great job, consistent diving. She was a part of the team win. She won 1 meter and 3 meter.
Good chance to be the diver of the meet. And finishes with a 58.80. Meanwhile, we go to Amelia Sharp of North Texas.
Excellent control at the top of the arm stand. That's what the judges are looking for, holding in the vertical position. Tight pipe, squares it out. With a good entry.
It's a 44.40. Here's Ruska Lehtinen, a distant second to Frida Zuniga Guzman, but a great chance to hold on to silver with a solid dive as she goes off the 5 meter.
Strong finish for Lehtinen. 5.5 dive. Fades it back ever so slightly, but finds a way to pull that entry in vertical.
41.25. It's Megan Phillip for Rice. Her last chance to earn some points for the Owls. 2.5 DD off the 5 meter.
Beautiful rip. Great entry. Megan's done a very consistent list on the platform today. Strong diver. She's competitive and finishes strong.
Sydney Gadara of North Texas with a good chance to medal if she can complete this one. It's a mid DD dive off the 10 meter starting the handstand.
Fantastic entry. She goes in the water so clean. She's got a powerful rip. You're probably wondering why her scores aren't higher with such a great entry, and it's because the judges would have liked to see her hold the handstand at the top of the platform just a hair longer.
And here is Frida Zuniga Guzman. A 2.9 DD off the 10 meter. She has a chance to absolutely blow away the competition if she nails this. By just completing the dive, she's probably on the medal stand. She has been awesome off the platform.
I'm sure they can hear it on the broadcast, but it is electric in here, and rightfully so.
69.60, 2 8.5 for Frida.
Beautiful dive. Gorgeous control from the pipe to the twist to the square out to the come out. Her teammates are just going berserk as they should.
And Brooke Mechtel to close things down. She has a chance to get on the medal stand as well.
Fantastic finish for Brooke as well. She's done a nice job of putting her dives away in this final. She'll get 46.80 on that dive.
And that moves her into a silver medal just in front of Christina Keenan, her teammate, and Ruska Lehtinen, who finishes in 4th. But Frida Zuniga Guzman, she can celebrate a platform championship with an absolute clinic. A dominant effort. A 3:10.80 from Frida Zuniga Guzman, including this impressive showing off the 10 meter to close it down.
there. Martina